Hello everybody. How are you this evening? Good. You all ready for class? Great. We've got some great recipes we're working on tonight. And once we're done with the cutting, we have a wonderful red wine, Cabernet Sauvignon 2012. It's Azora, and it is from Paso Robles. Yes, it's very nice. I am not cutting, so I am going to pour myself a glass. There we go. All right. And we'll have another class where I tell you about the wines. Yes, we're going to do some wine tastings in here as well, which I thought would be fun. Maybe some wine pairings with some of the food. But cheers to a wonderful evening. All right. And you all received your boxes from HelloFresh, correct? Okay. We have some great recipes. And just so you know, if you have any friends that are out of state who are interested in doing the classes remotely, they can have the boxes sent to them now. HelloFresh is all over the world, or all over the US, sorry. Now, so you can order HelloFresh from the West Coast, which is wonderful because I've had several people ask me about it, and often they're out of the East Coast, so they couldn't order it. So, all right, so tonight we have seared swordfish with warm potato and beet salad. Sounds delicious, huh? Short rib lettuce wraps, yum yum, and pork and Chinese eggplant stir fry. And our lesson for this evening is about zesting citrus, okay? And I know it's something that is daunting for a lot of people. It seems like a lot of work, but you can get the most out of your citrus. The beautifully colored skin contains oils that give a concentrated punch of flavor to your dishes. To acquire your target, you're after the colored outer rind of the fruit, which is where the flavor lies. Stop once you get to the white pith beneath because this has a bitter flavor, so leave it behind. You want to choose your weapon. A microplane is your best option because it produces the most finely grated zest. So this is a grater that looks like a knife almost. It looks like a rectangular knife with the blade being the different grating surfaces. A grater works as well, and a channel zester creates small strips of zest, which works well too. You can use these. The channel zester is also really nice for creating little decorative strips. You can use these or chop them into smaller pieces to better distribute the flavor. If you don't have these tools, you can use a peeler, like a potato peeler or a carrot peeler, to take off the outer rind. Try not to take any of the bitter pith, and slice it into strips and chop to a desired size. To release the flavor, the zest adds brightness and acidity to the flavor of a dish. It can also be used as a garnish to add visual appeal. Don't toss the rind. It's one of the things that you will find working with HelloFresh. You're never going to get a little packet of lemon juice or lime juice. You're always going to get a fresh lemon or lime, and they generally have you juice it and zest it and use all of the different parts of the fruit, and it really adds to the flavor quite a bit. HelloFresh will really teach you about using sauces and extras for really giving your dish a standout punch. So the first meal we're going to work on tonight is seared swordfish with warm potato and beet salad. So table number 1 has all the ingredients for this. The ingredients are swordfish, Yukon potatoes, green beans, yellow wax beans, mixed olives, parsley, shallot, lemon, oregano, and olive oil. And this is a taste of summer right at the end with this fresh, delicious dish. Swordfish is seared and then sliced and served atop a salad of potatoes, green beans, and yellow beans. It's colorful and tasty. It's got 554 calories per serving, 40 grams of carbohydrates, 25 grams of fat, 38 grams of protein, and 7 grams of fiber. And we're going to bring a large pot of salted water to a boil. You always want to read your recipe from the beginning before we start, so we're going to do that together. Cut the potatoes into half-inch cubes. You want them to be uniform or else they will not cook the same. Halve the green beans and waxed beans. Juice the lemon. Finely chop the parsley, shallot, oregano, and olives. And once the water is boiling, you can add the beans to the pot and cook for 1 to 2 minutes or until crisp tender. Remove with a slotted spoon and rinse under cold water. And then you can start drinking the wine. Table number 1. Place the potatoes in the same pot and return to a boil. Once boiling, cook the potatoes for 15 minutes or until easily pierced with a knife. So in case you did decide to cut them smaller or bigger, depending on your preference. You're going to combine the oregano, parsley, shallot, and lemon juice, and then slowly whisk in olive oil. Season with salt and pepper, and then add the potatoes, beans, and olives to the vinaigrette and toss to combine and set aside for it to sit and marinate. Then you're going to heat oil in a pan over medium heat and cut off the skin from the fish. We don't usually cut skin off a fish, but in this case we are going to. And we're going to season the swordfish fillet with salt and pepper and just sear the swordfish for 3 minutes on each side. And then to finish, you're going to slice the swordfish against the grain and serve the potato and bean salad with the swordfish slices on top. Drizzle with the remaining vinaigrette, if any. Okay? So you have all of your ingredients right here. Everything's already in bags. Yes, so it should be easy preparation. You have everything right there in front of you, so you won't have to go searching for anything. And table number 2. You have one of my favorite things, lettuce wraps. I love lettuce wraps. Often I'm trying to cut, at least having carbs the main part of my meal, so not having it pasta or rice, and I'm just trying to change it up every once in a while. And lettuce wraps are a perfect way to do that because they're hearty and you feel full and they're fun to eat. So they're a good dish for kids too. So the ingredients are short ribs, Boston lettuce, peanuts, yellow bell pepper, cucumber, hoisin sauce, honey, soy sauce, lemon, olive oil, and a pinch of sugar. It's 528 calories per serving, 19 grams of carbs, so it's low in carbs, 25 grams of fat, 39 grams of protein, and 3 grams of fiber. The short ribs are thinly sliced and marinated in soy sauce and honey, and then quickly seared until caramelized and served in lettuce cups. Quick pickled cucumber and bell pepper, hoisin sauce, peanuts, scallions top this delectable dish. So like I said, a lot of times it's the sauce that makes the dish, and in this you marinate the ribs a little bit. It really adds to the flavor, and then you quickly pickle the vegetables. So for kids especially who don't always like the really vinegary taste of many pickled items, this is just lightly pickled because it only sits for a very brief amount of time. And again, almost all of these recipes take no more than a half hour to prepare at home for 2 or 3 people. Combine the honey and soy sauce and then add the short ribs in and let it marinate while you cut the veggies. And you're going to julienne the cucumber and bell pepper. So you're just going to cut them into sticks. You're going to thinly slice the cucumber lengthwise, stopping at the seeds. And then you're going to cut the slices into thin strips, that's julienne, and remove the core, seeds, and white veins from the pepper. Then thinly slice. Separate the lettuce leaves and rinse. Pat them dry with a paper towel and juice the lemon. Okay? Then you can start having your wine. And in a bowl you're going to have the lemon juice, salt, pepper, and a pinch of sugar, and then throw in the cucumber and bell pepper, and you're going to set that aside to just quickly pickle. Then you're going to heat. It's one of my favorite ways to cook steak of any kind, is really just to marinate a little bit and then sear in a pan. So you're going to heat some oil in a non-stick pan over medium heat, and then you're going to sear the short ribs in batches. Yeah, you're not going to just throw the whole thing in there. You want to make sure they have enough room. And I have tongs out for you to just flip them, which makes it really easy. It's just 30 seconds on each side. And then set aside the meat, and you're going to thinly slice the short ribs into bite-sized pieces, and then spread some hoisin sauce on the lettuce leaf, top with the short rib, and then the vegetables, and then a little bit of peanuts, and you're good to go. And they're really fun. It's a really fun little appetizer too, if you want something that's fancy and filling, or like if you're doing a tapas kind of dinner party. Because it's got the short ribs, it definitely fills you up, but it's not a huge portion size. Now, table number 3 has pork and Chinese eggplant stir fry. Yes, you have everything in your bags over there. Yeah, it's one of the nice things is they all come prepackaged in the bags. And again, you all have boxes at home, so you can prepare all 3 dishes at home after we've done the class. It's a nice way to do the course, so that you get to practice again. And tonight you get to eat them all, but you don't have to cook all of them, or else we'd be here all night. Actually, we wouldn't, because they are so quick to cook. But one would get cold while the other was cooking, so if we all did every one. So this has ground pork, Chinese eggplant, which is the long skinny eggplant. They kind of look like zucchini, but they're eggplant. The same shape. Yellow squash, scallions, 2 cloves of garlic, lime, brown rice, chicken stock concentrate, soy sauce, and oil. This one is the largest calorie count. It's 624 calories, which you wouldn't think with stir fry, but the pork and the rice definitely up the calorie count. 80 grams of carbohydrates, 20 grams of fat, 29 grams of protein, and 11 grams of fiber. But 624 calories is not much anyway. It's nothing to worry about. Am I correct? Yes, that is. These were just really low-cal meals. They were both around 500, so. All right, so you're going to bring a large pot of salted water to boil with rice and stock concentrate. If you want, we also have a rice maker. So if you'd rather just make it in the rice maker, you can, or you just cook it on the stove for 20 to 25 minutes until tender. Rice maker makes it easy because then you don't have to watch it. Cut the eggplant into 1/2-inch cubes. Thinly slice the squash and the garlic. Thinly slice the scallions diagonally. Cut the lime into wedges. Then you're done cutting. Start on the wine. Yeah, this is a really easy recipe, but delicious. You're going to heat oil in a large nonstick pan over medium heat. Add the eggplant and the squash and cook for about 8 minutes or until tender. Season with salt and pepper. Set aside, and then in the same pan over medium heat, you're going to cook the pork and the garlic for about 3 minutes, breaking up the pieces as it cooks. Yes, because you want small bite-sized pieces, not big clumps of it. Season with salt and pepper, and then you're going to return the veggies to the pan. Add the soy sauce and cook, tossing for a couple of seconds until the vegetables have been warmed through. Fluff the rice with a fork and serve with the veggies on top, the scallions, and a squeeze of lime. So you can just cut the lime into, and give everybody a little quarter of it that they can squeeze. And that is really all of our recipes for this evening. Are there any questions? Yes, you could easily make these vegetarian. I was actually just thinking that with the short rib lettuce wraps, if you did want to make it like an appetizer, and you didn't want it as filling, you could leave the short ribs out and just have the pickled vegetables and the peanuts, and it would be a great little bite without filling you up before dinner. You could easily make the stir fry without the pork. The seared swordfish, I think, would be kind of you would need some other sort of protein to go along with the beans and the potatoes, I would say. But that's my preference, because I'm not a huge potato eater, and I think you would end up filling up on the potatoes if you didn't have the swordfish there, and I don't want to fill up too much on potatoes because it's such a heavy carb. So, very good question though. HelloFresh also does have a vegetarian box, and we'll be running a vegetarian class at some point, so if you're interested, you can also do that as well. All right, so get chopping so we can move on to the wine. All right. Yes, I'll be right with you. I definitely help. Okay, hold on.